have you seen images of the new Las Vegas Sphere? It is absolutely mind-blowing, and it's not like anything else, and Canadians had a big hand in building it and creating it to what it is today. So we're going to talk about that right now with our guest, who's the co-CEO of SACO Technologies, Jonathan Labbee. Jonathan, thank you so much for making the time. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Chelsea, for having me.
Well, first of all, I'm sure that you have heard many times over just how incredible this is and just how remarkable this project has been and has resulted in. So, I mean, I just want to acknowledge just a wonderful job, because this is something the likes of which we haven't really seen before. I mean, it looks like another planet that's sitting on the sphere. This is unbelievable.
It is. It looks like another planet, and it feels like another planet when you're inside.
So let's just kind of clarify a little bit. When we're talking about SACO Technologies, you're the co-CEO. What was your role in having a hand in the sphere itself?
Right. So we were hired by MSG, who's Madison Square Garden out of New York, to design and manufacture the LED screens in and on the venue. So the outside of the venue, which has had a lot of presence on social media. So when you see the sphere with the smiley face and the eyeball, that video screen was designed and manufactured by us. And then on the inside, the immersive surface to which they refer to is that also was done by us. So the outside is about 580,000 square feet, just to give it a little bit of a sense of size. And the inside is 160,000 square feet of super high-res video. That's about 3 football fields big.
So a job like this with this kind of magnitude takes how long to even conceive of and then create? Walk us through some of the process that you went through.
Right. So I believe that Madison Square Garden came up with the idea maybe around 2015, 2016. We were brought on board by the architect originally to work on the outside in 2018. And then not long after, MSG approached us to design the inside video screen for the main show. Okay.
So what's the venue primarily going to be used for?
Well, I mean, their vision is to transform kind of like performance venues of the future. So, you know, last week they premiered the venue with U2. So obviously these really nice big residency shows. And they also premiered this film by Darren Aronofsky called Postcard from Earth, which is really a film, so there's no live performers. So if you think of that as kind of like the bookends of what's possible, then you can think about other shows going in there like e-gaming and product launches and all sorts of other cool stuff.
That's the thing. I mean, I think with a product like this and with a venue like this, the way that you could work in conjunction with the act or with the performer or the lecturer, whoever it is, you know, the possibilities are really endless. It's really exciting to think about what this could mean for the way that people present content.
It is completely breaking any kind of existing barriers today. I mean, I was there myself for U2, and, you know, to see 18,000 people being enveloped in what the creators of the show wanted you to feel or where they wanted you to be, it was just completely spectacular.
You know, we've seen pictures of the outside and maybe images on the inside from social media and from the internet, but I don't think that it can really paint a clear picture unless you're actually inside and you're watching something. I would imagine it's very experiential, very immersive. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so it is completely immersive, and the immersiveness comes from several factors. There's a lot of new types of technologies inside of the venue. Obviously, the LED screens that's inside, and the audio that's there, kind of this very futuristic audio system that they have. But I think what adds to the immersion or really brings it home is the fact that the surface or what you're looking at in front of you is completely pure. All of the audio is behind the screen. There are no distractions or anything to take you out of the experience. So whatever they decide to put on the screen is, like, as an example, if they wanted you to feel like you were on Mars, you literally feel like you're on Mars. And they have a bunch of added tech like wind machines and scent machines and vibration done very subtly, you know, so it's not overwhelming. It's very realistic.
How daunting is it to take on a project like this? How much pressure is that?
Well, I mean, we are slightly crazy. I'll start off by saying that. And we had just come off from doing the tallest building in the world in Dubai, the Burj Khalifa. The whole front of that building is all LED video. So, we've been preparing ourselves, I guess, throughout our career to take on these very iconic projects. So, a lot of the effort goes into kind of creating the recipe, and then after that, it's just executing. So it's a huge task, but we have enough time, and we can work with all the different teams that MSG had on board to deliver something that was, completely integrated.
People say that it's like walking a decade into the future. So I can only imagine now, after some of these projects, you just mentioned the Burj Khalifa, there's a Hard Rock Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, that's a building that's shaped like a guitar.
Yes.
What is next? What are you trying to break the limits on and create next? Can you give us a hint?
Well, I mean, listen, there are a lot of really fun projects now kind of emerging because of the execution of this building, and people have gotten inspired to do new things. So I can't really get into so many details, but, I think what we're going to start seeing now is architects and building owners wanting to bring in more technology that is properly integrated and hopefully bring back some elegance, to the market, because too many video screens and stuff like that are just plastered on stuff and maybe not well integrated.
Did you anticipate that this is where your company was going to go, was to create something like this and sort of change the way the landscape of architecture moving forward?
Yes, actually, our company, believe it or not, actually invented the LED video screen back in the 90s. And our very first customer was U2 for Pop Mart. And we kind of just, built on that, and we've always been wanting to push the boundaries of what's possible with visual technology, and this right now is a masterpiece. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing short of a masterpiece. I think that's absolutely well said. Thanks for inventing LED video screens, because they're everywhere.
You're welcome.
On social media, there are a lot of people that are asking to get the sphere to look like the Death Star from Star Wars. Is that something that you can say is going to happen?
Well, I wish I could say that it's more for MSG to probably make a deal with Disney or somebody that has the rights to the Death Star. But, yeah, I may or may not be one of those fans.
Okay, well, we'll all anxiously await it. Jonathan, thank you so much for making the time today. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
That's Jonathan Labbee, co-CEO of SACO Technologies, the company behind the LED screen behind the Las Vegas Sphere. And if you haven't seen images of this, you got to take a quick look online, because it is absolutely unlike anything we have ever seen before. It is beautiful, and I think really going to set a precedent moving forward for the way that we're going to see screens and technology integrated into buildings, as he just said.